What is up, guys? My name is MipZ and welcome back for yet another League of Legends video. So today we're playing a champion that I guess some of you guys might not find that shocking. Get it? Shocking. Okay, that was a bad joke. Anyway, we are gonna play a champion today that is extremely fun. This video, or this champion, was actually requested by a couple of our subscribers, so thank you to David, Andre, MD, Mrak, Legend Alpha, and Julian for requesting this champion. Today we are of course playing Kennen. So Kennen is honestly a champion that back in time I used to play him a lot. I still pick him up every now and then. I don't know, he's kind of a champion that I sometimes forget like just how fun he is. I like kind of forget he's a part of the game. He's like the only true ninja, I guess. So Shen Shen is also kind of a ninja, but this guy has a hood, he has everything. This is a true ninja. I don't know why sometimes he just disappears from my mind and I forget he's a part of the game. It's not that often that you meet him, which makes him kind of a hidden gem. This guy is kind of the top lane version of Fiddlesticks, which is pretty cool. He does enormous amounts of damage and you can quite easily, I would say quite easily, you can actually carry yourself to like past diamond with this champion. Like he's absolutely amazing. Anyway, yeah, for those of you who are new in here, then what we're going to do in this video is that first of all, we're going to talk a little bit about the champion, basically skill wise, who he's for, like kind of what you can expect. And then we're going to start talking a little bit about the abilities, how they work. We'll go into the very detail of them. And in between that, we'll talk about how you want to use these things together in combination. And then lastly, afterwards we'll talk specifically about the combos and then go into kind of the strategy for how you want to play him in the early, mid, and late game. So yeah, that's overall the plan for this video. For those of you who are new in here, make sure to smash that subscribe button down beneath and join our community. It's super awesome. It's been so insane to see all of the support we've gotten a little lately, so thank you guys so much for that. For those of you who are wondering, just a short disclaimer, then I will not be going into details with the runes and items. The reason for this is simply that these things are changed fairly rapidly. Instead, I've left a link down below to MOBA Analytics where they show the current best runes and items. You can always just go in there and check. And I'll also write in the description which items I bought in this game. Anyway, let's just kind of go into this. So the very first thing is kind of talking about who this champion is for. Personally, I think this is a champ that basically is amazing for just about anyone. If you're a complete beginner at the game, then this guy's amazingly fun. He's like who doesn't want to be a ninja? Let's be real. So basically, this is an amazing champ for just about anyone, regardless of your skill level. But it's also a champ that you can really grow with. And this basically just means that you're not going to be that limited by your champion. And especially since he's not played that often, it's also a champ that a lot of people, even people that might be better than you, are not used to playing against him. So they're actually not really going to play that well against you. Because sometimes it means more to know what you're playing against than what you're playing yourself. I know that sounds kind of weird, but if you're a really good Kennen player and playing against somebody who's maybe a really good Mundo player, let's say that just for the sake of argument, then everybody knows what Mundo does, but not everybody knows exactly how Kennen works, how his stuns work, how everything kind of works together. And for that reason, you are actually kind of gonna have a hidden advantage. But also, if you are a mediocre or intermediate player and played the game for a while, this is honestly a champ that I personally would recommend you to have and play once in a while because he's super fun. And it's also a champ that you can, of course, do very, very well with. But I guess he is somewhat of an acquired taste. All right. So far we're doing okay in lane here. We are going to be able to just hit a stun in there and just fade out a little bit of damage here. Just a disclaimer as well that I kind of forgot to mention for those of you who are new in here. I am playing these games live and trying to explain at the same time. So the purpose of these videos are not to show you guys absolutely perfect gameplay. If so, I would definitely not be talking at the same time. It is just kind of to try and present the information in a fun and a bit more entertaining way, and also so you guys can sit and kind of see this video without like if you zone out for a second, you're not going to feel lost. So that's the overall purpose. And just also I really like playing the game, so this is a good excuse for it. Anyway, let's start talking a little bit about the abilities. So our very first ability is called Mark of the Storm, and this is Kennen's passive. The passive is, of course, with most champions, the ability that the least people know about. Just get some good damage in there. Might actually be able to go for a kill on him, but I think he's going to back off. You know what? I'm just going to be annoying. I don't feel like that was a bait, so I'll take it. But Mark of the Storm is Kennen's passive, which is pretty awesome, and that's what you've been seeing me kind of use subtly. What this Mark of the Storm basically does is that it allows Kennen to stun his target. The way he does this is by applying marks to a target, and these marks are basically these what do you call it, like electric stuff that hovers around your target from time to time. So if we pop one up here, if I pop it on this champion or this minion, you can see basically it's hovering around the minion right there. And this is one of these Mark of the Storms. Once you get 3 Mark of Storms onto a target, then they will be stunned for 0.75 seconds. And if the target has been stunned within the last 6 seconds from this Mark of the Storm, then it's only going to last 0.5 seconds. This is a slight note. You're probably not going to notice that because it's a matter of 0.25 seconds. But it's something for the intermediate players that might make a difference for, at least for them. For newer players, it's probably not something you'll notice at the very, very beginning. All right, let's just back off here. So basically, the way you stun your targets are by applying 3 of these Mark of the Storm. And this is where your first question is very valid, which is basically, how do I apply Mark of the Storm? Good question. Well, the way you apply Mark of the Storm is basically by using your abilities. Each ability, all of your abilities apply this Mark of the Storm. Your ult does it in kind of a certain way. We'll talk about that one as we get to the ult. But all of your spells, if you hit a champion with it or a minion for that matter, then you are going to apply a Mark of the Storm. So you can use your abilities, hit 3 abilities, and apply Mark of the Storm. We'll talk about something very cool when we get to W that actually allows you to apply Mark of the Storm with your auto attack. But we'll talk about that one in just a moment as we get to the W. I'm gonna back out here. This guy's been a little too aggressive. Okay, so that is basically all that one does. It has one other side effect that, especially as you get better to this champion, you need to kind of know, and that is every time that you stun someone with your Mark of the Storm, with your passive, then you also, it restores 25 energy. So this basically just means that you get 25 energy back, allowing you to use your abilities more often, which is, yeah, really, really good. So always use that, and you can actually restore more. Like if you stun 3 enemies at once, then you are going to get 75 energy back instantly. So just know that it's super cool and it's really, really effective. I'm just going to try and farm it a little bit here. All right, so that is basically our passive. So now let's talk about our Q. So our Q is called Thundering Shuriken. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm very sorry if I completely and utterly destroyed that name. But what this thing basically does is that it allows you to throw this skill shot dagger thing, or throwing star. I guess it's a throwing star. It's not really a dagger, but it throws this throwing star, which is honestly very, very cool. It's a nice skill shot, and it's something we'll talk a little bit about how to actually hit this. I'll also make a video pretty soon on how to hit skill shots and how to get better at them, because there are actually specific techniques for this. So make sure that you're subscribed for that, by the way. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about this one. So your Thundering Shuriken, I think it's the name. Basically what this does is allows you to cast this throwing dagger that deals a good chunk of damage, and as we talked about with our passive or abilities, apply one of these Mark of the Storm. So whenever you hit a target with this one, then you get a Mark of the Storm on target, and then you just need 2 more in order to stun them. And you can always look at the target to see how many of these marks they have hovering around them. It's very, very easy to see. All right, so that's basically the primary thing of this one. That's basically just, it deals this damage and you can cast it, and it's kind of it. Doesn't really do anything else. It's just a dagger or a throwing star. So let's talk a little bit about how to actually manage to hit this a little bit more often. So first of all, you always... Oh, this does not look good. First of all, with your when you're hitting skill shots or throwing skill shots in general, then you don't want to be running directly towards people like this and then throwing it. I don't know why this guy's not moving, but it's going to be very easy for the enemy to see what your intent is. If you are just running directly to max range in order to hit him, you can see just as I move here, he is going to know that I'm probably going to go for it. There are different ways of always hitting it, or hitting it more or less every time. One of them being wait for them to move out such that they have, like with Mundo here, I know he is gonna, as soon as this one goes low HP, he's definitely gonna try to use his ability on it in order to last hit it. This means that from the position where he is now, he's gonna have to move. So right here, I know this minion, if he wants to hit it, he's gonna have to move up here, or he's gonna have to go there, and I can just Q right there. I can be ready for it. We can basically just go all nuts on this guy, and I don't know what he's doing. So I'll take the free kill since he's gonna give it to me. Anyway, like, kind of try and hide your intent with these things. Either use the prediction factor of where is your enemy gonna go. Don't try to just cast your spells in order to try and hit it. Instead, think about what is your enemy's next move, and also try to hide your intent. This basically means that instead of running towards people to use your Q, then try and kind of throw it as you're running around and not necessarily directly facing his position. So this is basically some of the ways. I'm going to go into a lot more detail with these things in a future video where I'll talk specifically about why it's or how to improve skill shots specifically, because this is kind of a 3D game in a 2D space, which is weird. So there are actually some techniques for making it a lot easier. Anyway, I won't go more into detail with the skill shots. Just know that makes it a little easier. Use the prediction and hide your intent. So maybe, let's say I'm running back and forth here, I'm farming, then I can cast Q up, or I need to help this guy real quick. Oh, this is gonna be risky. I don't have my ult. I want to back out of this. All right. Anyway, let's talk about our next ability, and our next ability is a W called Electrical Search. Electrical Search is honestly one of my absolute favorite spells. I don't know why. I feel like this spell is almost, I'm saying almost more satisfying than your ult for some strange reason. I don't really know why. I just feel like it is a lot more satisfying for some reason. I should be able to beat this out. All right, so Mundo is pretty tanky. Could buy something like a Morellonomicon to do something about the healing. I don't know if we will. We might think about doing so. All right. But your W is called Electrical Surge. And the thing is with this Electrical Surge, this is kind of what we talked about earlier with your like it has a passive side that allows you to get one of these Mark of the Storms on your basic attacks. The way this works is that every 5th basic attack is going to apply a Mark of the Storm. So basically you just get 5 auto attacks in there. You can see right down here, it has Electrical Surge on. And the next one is going to give one of those Mark of the Storms. So that's a very, very cool thing. And a very, I think that you need to know. Because basically what this means is that you want to try and play around getting your stacks up to 5. And then basically using this basic attack onto a champion, and then follow it up with a Q and a double, and your active side of your W, which we will talk about in just a second here. So just remember that you can get stacks. Every 5th basic attack is going to add a stack of Mark of the Storm on whatever target you're basic attacking. Super cool. All right, let's back out real quick here. And we're going to go for the stopwatch. I might have to TP if I can. There's no wards. This is bad. I could have TP'd if I could get to ward. There's one here. But I'm not going to go for it. I'm just going to run directly to him. All right, so that's the passive side of your Electrical Surge. Then we have... Oh, we need to help here. This should basically allow us to just pick this up real quick. I should be able to get another stun in there. There we go. Sweet. All right, so far we're doing pretty well. All right, let's run up here. Anyway, the active side of your Electrical Surge allows you to basically deal instant damage to basically any target that has either Mark of the Storm on them, so you're passive. So basically meaning that if you've hit them with another ability, or any target that is under the effect or inside the ring of your ult. So your ult basically has this ring. We'll talk about that one in just a moment. But basically anything that's inside that, then you can click it. It adds another Mark of the Storm mark to that target. So this is basically if you have 2 Mark of the Storms on a target or on any target or more than one target, then when you click this one, you deal damage to all the targets close enough within this range that has Mark of the Storm. Add another Mark of the Storm to them. So if they hit 3 marks there, you're instantly going to be stunning them with your W and dealing a really good chunk of damage. So that's basically that one. It's a really, really cool spell that honestly I freaking love. I don't know, it just feels so satisfying. I'll like basically if we cast our Q on this guy, I'll see if I can hit a spell on this guy. We'll just auto attack him a little bit. We have a Mark of the Storm. You can see right here, if I didn't do W, he get a second one and does this electrocute thing to him. It's just really nice, and it's a thing that you really need to use very well. So that... Oh, I need to get out of this. I did not see this guy at all because I was not looking. All right. So our next ability is our E, and our E is called Lightning Rush. This thing is kind of what makes you feel like the Flash for just a moment. What this thing does is that it allows you to basically run around with 100% more speed. You run super fast. You have a ghost, meaning that you run through minions without having to go around them, etc. And you deal damage for anyone that you pass through, and you add a mark to them. So if you hit them, I'm not gonna be able to save this turret, by the way. If you hit them with, I don't know if I can take this guy one-on-one anymore. I don't think so. Nope, I'm not gonna be able to. Just gonna back out this. I am gonna back out. So Mundo is becoming really, really strong, honestly. I just want to get this this thing down. All right, so okay, he's back. I'm gonna make sure this one doesn't get to jump in. It's the most important thing. All right, so basically, or Lightning Rush allows you to run really fast. You deal a bit of damage as you go through a target, Also, whenever you go through a target, and this is very important, you should always try to phase through a target. Doesn't have to be a minion, or it doesn't have to be a champion. Even a minion is good enough. But if you pass or run through a target, then you restore 40 energy. And this can actually mean the difference between having enough energy for another of your Qs. So this is pretty important. Make sure that you phase through targets with your E. So basically, after this E start, or after you've used your E, I think we'll actually just go for a rush onto... You know what? Let's just wait 2 seconds and get ourselves our boost. Boost. So basically, what this means with your E, you always want to try and kind of be careful about this one, because this is something people are going to try to bait out. If you're going all in, you of course want to be using it, especially because it has another effect. The other effect is that whenever your E stops, then you get this buff called Lightning Rush. This one increases your attack speed by up to 80%, which is absolutely insane. So this of course works very well together with your W's passive that allows you to stun or get a mark of the this might be a little risky. All right, so right here, get some stuns on this guy. We should be able to get him down though. I'm hoping that Kennen is... Whew. Nice. All right, we got him. That took a lot. That really took a lot. But basically, you want to make sure that you use your E if you're going all in. You can also use it in combination with your ult. We'll talk more about that. But it does give you a lot of attack speed, so use it for that. But be very careful, because your E is basically what most good players will try and bait out, because it's your only getaway. Otherwise, you will have to use your Mark of the Storm to stun people in order to get away. You kind of saw me doing this to Mundo earlier, that I was just trying to peel him off myself using my stuns. We won't with X-Dark, so no point back in here. Let's run to mid lane. All right, so that's basically what our E does. So summing up real quick, it allows you to run really, really fast, kind of like the Flash. It deals damage for everyone you pass through, adds a Mark of the Storm to them if you pass through them, gives you 40 energy back the first time you pass through an enemy. This does not work on several enemies, so if you pass through 4 enemies, you're not going to get like 40 energy for each of them. You're only going to get for the first one. All right, so let's move on to our ult, and our ult is kind of the reason why you want to play Kennen. It's called Slicing Maelstrom, and Slicing Maelstrom is... Oh, we have 4 seconds till our ult. So we are actually just going to be able to absolutely annihilate most of these guys. I'm probably not going to get out from this. No. I would have liked this now to just try and peel for me for just a second, grab onto one, and I'll probably have been able to get out, but yeah. That did not happen. Like, I think a Morelli kind of this might be really, really good, especially since nobody else built anything. You know what? I will buy it, because I feel like this is we're not gonna be able to kill all this healing if not. All right, so our ult, as I said, is called Slicing Maelstrom, and it's basically what you just saw me use. What this thing does is that it allows you to basically summon this Maelstrom in an area around you. So you can see it's basically my body's lying here, by the way. So it allows you in this circle to deal damage to anything around you, basically in these small pulses all the time. So this deals a very big amount of damage, to be honest. And for every time it ticks, it applies a Mark of the Storm onto all targets within this one. And as you guys know, with your W, you can then click it, because everybody who's inside the circle both get Mark of the Storm and are inside the circle. You can click your W and it's also gonna hit those. So anyway, your ult does damage every time it basically does this pulsing thing, which is pretty cool, this tick. And you also gain extra armor and magic resist while having your ult up. So this is actually something a lot of people don't know about, is that it gives these defensive stacks that are, or this defensive stats that are honestly super, super good. I think I'm just gonna run up here. We could actually go for a Baron Call. I'm all in for this one. But basically, your ult, it deals this damage every time it ticks, gives Maelstrom stacks for every tick, and it gives you armor and magic resist. So this is kind of the ability that you want to try and hit as many targets as possible with. Well, are people really backing out here? We should be able to... Okay, this is becoming less and less a good idea. Okay, I might die here. No, I didn't get my Hourglass off. I failed. I basically gave him that kill. I was too slow. Also, I should have ulted before I jumped forward, but we'll talk about why that is. All right, so that is kind of all of our abilities. Also, one thing I forgot about your ult is basically that for every successive strike that you do with your ult on the same target, then it deals 10% more damage on the next one. And it basically does this up to 150% more damage, but you're never really gonna feel the full effort of that. But basically, it deals 10% more damage every time it hits a target. So, shortly summing up, deals damage, hits everybody inside its circle, adds Mark of the Storm, and that's basically it increases the damage based on how many times it hits the same target. All right, so how do you actually want to combine these things? There are a few. I'm gonna try and help this guy as much as I can. There we go. All right, there are a few things that you want to do on Kennen. So on Kennen, and this is where a lot of people actually, in my opinion, play the champion wrong. Most people want to jump in and then use your ult. This is not ideal. What you actually want to do is that you want to pop your ult and then jump in. The reason for this is that the second you jump in, you're going to get the first tick off on them without having the cast. Everybody knows that when you jump in with when you jump in and then start the ult, that everybody will most likely just flash away or use the dash away. But if you ult before and then use your Hextech or your flash or whatever to get in on top of the target and then click your W instantly, because you can click this instantly because you're in there inside your circle, then you can get two ticks off instantly, or 2 Mark of the Storms off instantly, and the third one will apply with the next tick of your ult, which is going to be super quick. So actually the ideal thing to do is pop your ult before your E, or before you pop your use your Protobelt, or before you use your flash in. You want to have your ult up before the engage, or before you actually jump onto your targets. I hope that kind of makes sense. But of course, you don't want to do it half an hour before. You just want to do it just... Oh, crap. Oh, crap. I did not notice this. This is so awkward. I'm sorry, guys. I'm literally zoning out over here. All right, my team is probably going to be able to take this free Drake, but they're going to push in hip here. Unless they're not. So why? All right, so this Drake, like, if they take this tower for this Drake, it's worth it. Like, legitimately, this is no, wait. It would have been their 4th Drake, which would have been really bad. This is a super good trade for us. This 4th Drake would have been terrible. Oh, God, this guy's so gonna steal it. This guy's so gonna steal it. I feel it in my veins. Oh, my God, please don't. Yeah. Oh, this is so scary. Did he get it? Who got it? Oh, we got it. Whew. That was a close one, guys. That was a close one. All right. Let's run up here. I might actually be able to just beat this guy up. How fed is that? He's not fed at all, actually. All right, he's not coming out anyway. All right. So let's talk a little bit about how you actually want to play Kennen in early, mid, and late game. So basically with Kennen, you want to take TP as one of your summoner spells. The reason for this is that Kennen is, as you might have guessed from the way his spells work, he is kind of a team fighter. He really, really likes to team fight, and he likes to deal damage to just about everybody at the same time. So basically, you want to play with TP, and you want to strive to not having to use your TP to your own lane. Instead, what you want to do, and this is something that's really hard for me to showcase while I'm explaining in these games, but that is that you want to keep an eye out on all the other lanes, and you want to use your ult to help out on objectives, especially drakes. Like if bigger fights are happening, then you want to be a part of them, because you are amazing at these team fights. So you definitely want to be there. I don't see anything. I'm on my way. I'm on my way, guys. Don't die. Don't die. We're running the safe way here because I don't see anything. All right, this might not be bad. This might not be bad because I'm coming here from this side. And this should be actually be really good for us. Sweet. And I still have my Hourglass. I was considering to use it with the Twitch there, but I wanted to make sure that I dealt as much damage as I could until I would be too low to actually till I was afraid of dying, and I didn't feel afraid there. But basically in the early game, you want to try and set up kills for your jungler and make it easy for your jungler to gank. The way you do this is basically just hitting your Q and your W's with your, like, basically get 5 stacks up, hit an auto attack on the enemy champion, then pop your Q and W on them. They'll instantly be stunned. If you have to force an engage, you can do something like your E into your ult, or you can do like an E ult flash or ult E flash. So there's kind of a lot of combinations, but what you want to go for when doing these things is basically that you want to make sure that you get to the target and get them stunned to make the ganks easier for your jungler. You are not the strongest 1v1er out there. You are a team fighter and you're really good at it, and you deal a chunk of damage. So play around that. Throughout the mid game, start looking kind of on the other lanes. Look for objectives. Check down how's the Drake doing. Are there maybe 4 of their people on the Drake and your team is also trying to contest it? Then use your TP to outnumber them. That's basically what you want to do in the mid game. In the late game, you still want to make sure that you get farm from the side lanes and use your TP to be on objectives, and also group up whenever you can. But of course, still make sure that you get gold, that you don't just end up sitting and sharing all the gold with your ADC or whatever in the mid lane, because that is pretty dangerous, and that's something that a lot of people do tend to do in League of Legends, is that once they get into the late game, they don't really know what to do. They're like, they always want to be grouped, or they always want to be in the mid lane, and that's not the ideal thing to do. The ideal thing is to be grouped when needed. So when there's an objective to go for, when there's an objective to go for, or something like that, that is when you want to group. Oh, nice. This guy is super dead. There are 3 people down here. Nocturne's there, but Nocturne can jump down there quite instantly. I'm just gonna use my ult here, or my Hourglass. Gonna get on top of these guys. Whoop. Come on, we should be able to get this. This is my quadra kill. So as you guys can see, this guy is fairly amazing at team fighting. Like he's really fun. He's really fun. Let's actually see if we can finish the game here. We might be able to. The Drake is up in 15. I don't know if we can. Gragas is coming up pretty soon, but he's gonna have to clear out these minions. We will be able to at least get 1 turret, I think. I think we might be able to. We are 2 people here. 5 seconds on that guy. Oh, this is actually really good. Oh, that was really close. All right, let's make sure that we get this down. And we might actually just be able to finish the game right here. We are definitely going to go for it. All right, I'm not going to be able to finish. I should have committed because I was dead anyway. How much HP? 2k. All right. Anyway, now we have a bit extra time to hang out and chill in this game, which is good. All right, so I kind of hope that this gives you kind of an idea. But yeah, late game wise, you do want to be team fighting. That is where you strive. The more people inside your ult, the better. Of course, if you have to pick and choose between targets, you do want to take down the high priority targets, most often meaning the squishy targets, So this is the back line. You can kill them very, very easily with Kennen. But let's say that you are having a really bad game. Well, if you're having a really bad game and you're not really doing much damage, then you might be better off just staying in the back line with your ADC and with your mid lane, or if you're playing mid lane Kennen, just staying back and popping your things onto whatever target's trying to dive your ADC and use that to stun them to peel off for your ADC, because your ADC is a very, very important target. You know what? We're gonna try and go for a backdoor. See if we can get it off. They are fighting down there, so I'm just gonna do the mature thing. Okay, this was a super bad choice. I take it back. I actually thought they had more people down there, but I didn't check. So this is a lesson for just about everyone. Before you do a play like this where you try to backdoor their base, check how many people's actually in the other side, because otherwise you're gonna throw just like I did. But I guess making the games a little bit more interesting is a good thing, right? I'm hoping so. All right, my team is gonna be able to finish this off. But yeah, I just kind of hope that this gives you an overall idea of how to play Kennen, how to think when you're playing him. You don't really want to be split pushing too much. You can still split push as a top laner, generally speaking. You want to try to make sure that you shove lanes that are the furthest away from the objectives whenever you can, and then having your TP to join up with your team when they need you. And with Kennen, this is so good, because you're going to be able to TP down. You're going to have the increased movement speed from the TP, combine it with your E, and then having ult, and maybe even use your Protobelt and your flash, and like you have so much mobility. Like you are just so slippery, and you're a ninja. That's what you are. All right, so now Kane is like, I think I can backdoor the Nexus. That's what I just did before. It went really good. All right, so this Dr. Mundo, I'm not a big fan of him because I can't really get through him. He's a little thick-headed, aka he has a lot of defensive items. So also a quick way to just clean out minions is using your E to run over and basically get one of these Mark of the Storms on each of them like this. And then you can just do W, boom, and you're gonna be killing most of them, especially in late game, as you have a lot of damage. Then we'll just back off, get our Rabadon's Deathcap, and things are gonna be interesting. This guy, I bet you this is not gonna work. I bet, honestly, this is what happened just before. Maybe it will, but no. Nocturne ult right there, he'd be dead. No, wait, Nocturne ult down here. What up, Nocturne? Wrong place, wrong time. GG. Anyway, that was really fun. This was actually a really fun game. And like, when I look at this, then like, this champion is just such a hidden gem. He's such a hidden gem. He's so fun to play. He really, really is. And for some reason, I don't play him as often as I should, because he is really, really fun, and he's actually really, really strong. We did a lot of damage this game. We did really well overall, especially considering the fact that I'm not really that focused on the game. Then I feel like we did a good job. So I hope it kind of showcases the champion, gives you an impression of what you can do with him, and figured out whether or not this is a champ for you or not. But yeah, that's actually kind of going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, then make sure to smash that like button. It really would mean a lot to me, because basically this tells YouTube to be like, yo, this is a really good video. Let's throw it out to more people. So please go ahead and do that if you liked the video. And if you didn't, of course, then do the other thing. It doesn't matter. And if you guys are not already, then make sure to subscribe and join in on our absolutely amazing community. And if you feel like it, then also join in on Discord. Like, I hang out with you guys all the time on Discord. It's super chill. It's so nice talking with you guys. So yeah, make sure you go subscribe here and join our Discord. But that is going to be it for this video. As always, stay awesome, have fun, and take it easy, guys.